Bernardo, will you lead us in our invocation?
Well, Father, we thank you for the privilege that we have to bow before you in prayer. We thank you for the people that are here. We ask that you bless us, Lord. Give us wisdom this evening as we conduct business in the church. We pray for this situation that our country and world is facing, this COVID-19, and we pray, Lord, that you give people answers so we can get past this. Lord, we just appreciate you and love you and ask that you lead and guide us in all that we do and see. Pray for everybody. Yes, we will.
Amen. Mr. Leachman, you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Faulkner, we have the roll call, please.
Steve Arnott,
Here.
Mike Scipio,
Here.
Doug Fleshman,
Here.
Greg Hudson,
Here.
Greg Wolf,
Here.
Connie Thompson,
Present.
Jim Hughes,
Here.
Linda Bogus.
I'm here.
Quorum being present, I declare the August 3rd, 2020 council meeting of the city of Dunbar in order. First item on the agenda is minutes for the July 20th, 2020 council meeting.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the minutes of the July 20th, 2020 council meeting as written.
Second. There's been a motion by Councilman Fleshman to approve the minutes of the July 20th, 2020 council meeting as written, seconded by Councilman Wolf. Any comments, clarifications, or questions? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions, none. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is invoices for payment.
Mr. Chairman, in the previous meeting findings, we reviewed our invoices and they total $107,926.08. So I so move that we pay these.
Second. There's been a motion by Councilman Hudson to approve payment of invoices totaling $107,926.08. Seconded by Councilman Hughes. Any comments, questions, or clarifications? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions, none. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the second reading of ordinance 788.
Yes, 788 is authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into a housing consortium for cooperation agreement between the city of Charleston, the Kanawha County Commissioner, and Bell, Cedar Groves, Van Dennen, Marmet, Nitro, St. Albans, Dunbar, and South Charleston to renew Charleston Kanawha County housing.
So moved. Second. There's been a motion by Councilman Scipio to approve the second reading of ordinance 788, renewing the city of Dunbar's participation in the Kanawha Charleston Consortium, seconded by Councilman Wolf. Any comments, clarifications, or questions? Being none, there will be a roll call vote.
Steve Arnott,
Yes.
Mike Scipio,
Yes.
Doug Fleshman,
Yes.
Greg Hudson,
Yes.
Greg Wolf,
Yes.
Connie Thompson,
Yes.
Jim Hughes,
Yes.
Linda Bogus.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item on the agenda is resolution of the city council for a budget adjustment.
Yes, Mayor, we're going to make a budget adjustment into the general fund. We projected that we would carry over 325,000, excuse me, we projected we would carry over 850,000, and we actually carried over 1.2 million. So we had to increase some department, which we needed to do from where we did not get things done in the last budget because of all what's going on. And we have went through all that. Do you want me to go through it again or just? Okay, so we're just making the adjustments to all departments.
So here, we can take this adjustment, the increase of $858,848.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Hudson to approve the resolution of the city council. Resolution of the city council approving a budget adjustment to the 2020-2021 budget to reflect the carryover funds from the 2019-2020 budget. Are there any questions, comments, clarifications? Being none, we'll have a roll call vote.
Steve Arnott,
Yes.
Mike Scipio,
Yes.
Doug Fleshman,
Yes.
Greg Hudson,
Yes.
Greg Wolf,
Yes.
Connie Thompson,
Yes.
Jim Hughes,
Yes.
Linda Bogus.
Yes.
The vote is unanimous and the resolution is approved. Next item on the agenda is resolution of the city council approving a budget adjustment for full severance payments.
Yes, Mayor, we have another budget adjustment to our full severance. We had an increase of $15,162. And all that has been used into the street construction.
Make a motion, we approve the adjustment. Full severance.
Second. There's been a motion by Councilman Scipio to approve, for the resolution of the city council approving a budget adjustment for, to reflect the balance carryover of the cold severance fund to the 2020-2021 budget. Roll call. Are there any questions, clarifications, or comments? Being none, we'll have a roll call vote.
Steve Arnott,
Yes.
Mike Scipio,
Yes.
Doug Fleshman,
Yes.
Greg Hudson,
Yes.
Greg Wolf,
Yes.
Connie Thompson,
Yes.
Jim Hughes,
Yes.
Linda Bogus.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. The next item on the agenda, I'll let the chief boss talk about this before we get into it. It's the department policy for use of body worn cameras.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. That policy was submitted to the Safety Committee last week. The mayor was present for the meeting. First off, I appreciate the questions that was asked during that meeting. Obviously, you had it beforehand, and some of the council members, all of them present, but obviously read and asked some questions about it. So we appreciate that. It helps formulate a good policy. I assume it'll go into effect as soon as you all approve it tonight, we can do so, and that's an important part of the cameras. If you want to ask any questions, I can take them. Back to the policy.
Anybody have a comment or statement before we go on the floor for a motion?
I'd just like to thank the chief and Mason for getting this all together. I
And
appreciate it.
I was going to thank Lieutenant Mason in the department head meeting, but Lieutenant Mason's the one that put all the work into it. And like I said, in safety committee, I actually contacted his departments and talked to supervisors and staff there to see what part of their policies worked and didn't. It's kind of a combination, but it's heavily based on Martinsburg policy.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, we entertain a motion for approval.
I'll put a motion on the floor that we approve the police department rules and procedure policy 063 for body worn camera. Second.
Everybody points their finger at you, Greg, you're the guilty guy. There's been a motion by Councilman Arnott for approval of the police department rules and procedure policy 063, body worn cameras, seconded by Councilman Wolf. Any further comments, clarifications, questions? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions, none. Motion carries. There is no old business, so we'll move on to the department reports. Chief Moss.
Thank you, Mayor. I know we just covered the safety committee, and again, thank Lieutenant Mason for putting that together. I think he did a really good job putting it together and presenting it the other day. Thank the National Guard for Friday. They came over to the station, fumigated, sanitized, whatever you want to call it, the police department force. And I really want to thank this morning, we had an autistic kid come up missing out of a house this morning. A citizen called about that child. The officers on day shift found that child and returned him home. And then a couple hours later, we had a 3-year-old that was wandering down an alley in Ward 1. A citizen called about that child. Those are the people making a difference in town because they seen something they knew wasn't right and actually called. Those 2 children, one was close to the interstate system, the other one obviously was close to the river. So I'd like to thank those 2 citizens for making those 2 phone calls today. Made a difference in town today. So thank them. It's not going to release their names or whatever. Still people watching, calling. So appreciate it. Take any questions if anybody has them.
I think just, well, congratulations. The police department has been active on the drug scene. They've had a couple of significant busts in the last couple of weeks. And, I think it's important to see that they're out there addressing the problem that a lot of people are concerned about here in the city. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor.
Next, Chief Thornhill.
Evening, Mayor, Council. Looking through the last minutes, engine 592 is back on the road, repaired, running good until next time. Until next time. Business inspections with COVID-19 are going to be a little different this year, but we plan on starting those probably this week. At worst case, be next week. August is our normal month for doing business inspections, but the game's changed a little bit on how we're going to do those. So we're not in there inspecting them for COVID-19 compliance. I want to be clear, we're inspecting them for fire and building inspections to a degree. So there's a few of us, myself included, I think it's 5 or 6 now. They'll be starting at the end of the month, EMT recertification. This will be my last one, thankfully. But it's 3 days that we now have to have an instructor come in and do a 24-hour class. Because all of us, up until now, we have done what's called West Virginia EMT level. they ended that, and we all now have to go back to National Registry, which ups the game, ups the training, ups the requirement. And in order for us to meet it, there's a 3-day class that each person has to sit through. So at the end of the month, I think it's the 27th, 28th, and then the 2nd or something in September, however it falls around Labor Day. We'll be sitting through those, and then we submit all of our training we do through the year, plus this class, we submit that to the National Registry. And I'm sure there's a fee. I'm not sure what that fee is. It'll probably be a $25 fee or something. And then we'll be recertified for 4 years. And then next year it'll be a couple more feet, one next year, a couple more feet. That's going on at the end of the month. I took off and forgot my call logs with me, but I do know we responded to 59 emergencies in the city last month. 2 of those were fires, one of them actually on A Street, where a couple was going in there and they were actually remodeling. I can't go into detail, but not them, but otherwise somehow it caught fire. Early in the morning, we were on scene within a minute, stopped that, prevented that from getting worse. I've spoken with the homeowner, they're back in there cleaning, working on it, they're going to move into it and make it a habitable home. So another good call there. One thing I wanted to note, we had a swimmer, just as an example of what we do. We had a swimmer in the river 2 weeks ago now. It was on our side and wasn't really far off, but was swimming there and got tangled up in the fishing line and couldn't get loose and almost drowned on us. And one of our guys from Dunbar swam out to him, and another guy from South Charleston swam out. We were able to get under the water, get the fishing line cut, and get the guy over shore. So little things like that can happen, and thankfully we were there and able to get to them quick. So little things you don't think about. You caught fish. So, I don't have my numbers with me. There's 2 very important things we did last month. Proud of our guys as always. I'll take any questions you all have at all. We're still doing the water thing as we can do it. Or sometimes we're not able to be there, but we're tied up on an emergency or something. We're still doing that. The kids are still running through and cooling off. Still a good thing.
But it means a lot having you all out there with the sprinkle park to give the kids and the parents that sense of safety, knowing there's a paramedic EMT there in case somebody gets scuffed up or something. So really appreciate you being there. Public Works, Mr. Elliott.
Mayor and Council. Real quick, just keeping up with the heat and getting everything that we can get done. I've only got 1 to 2 people that can get out here and do the job every day. If you know of anybody that needs a job drug-free, send them my way. That's all I have. We're trying to get the grass out of the cracks on the sidewalk, spraying a lot of poison and getting that stuff done. And we trimmed the trees down Route 45, Dunbar Avenue, and all the way down through. So just cleaning up the mess now. And the storms over the weekend did quite a bit of damage with all the trees, and people with their chainsaws did a lot more damage with the trees. So we're still in the process of cleaning that up. I'll take anybody's questions if they have any.
Thank you for cleaning up 22nd Pleasure Circle.
I'm still working on that tree, trying to figure out how to get that thing off the fire.
We got some new water barrels around these planters. I don't know how many still out, but there are some out there. I'm getting calls from these women that they want water in the barrels so that they can water the fires. Any chance we can get some water out?
I take water as quick as I can get it out there whenever, I filled 6 of them up myself Friday. I'm getting them as fast as I can. I don't know where every one of them is. If somebody calls the garage and tells them they need water, she puts them on the list, and the next time I go out, I fill them up. I'm the one that's doing it.
Okay, I'll check down there because I've got 2 or 3 names.
And some of the hoses are broke. If they're broke, I took the hose from the 10th Street one over here at Dunbar Avenue the other day, went and bought a new hose and put on it and a new spigot. that was all that's matter of it. So some of them are, got some hose issues, and that all I need to know is if that's the problem, then I'll get it.
Okay.
I've got one gentleman that likes to open it as soon as we fill it and let it drain completely into his garden and call back the next day.
Also, a couple of weeks ago, you and I discussed about putting, your guys picked up a barrel of trash
There's
cans.
another barrel in its place already,
When did it go out?
Thursday or Friday.
I was saying, I was over there the other day, I did not.
Put it right back in the same dead spot that it was sitting.
Okay, they also need one down on that barge, like you and I had talked about, that the homeless are down there, they got grocery bags hanging up all over the place with trash in it. Nobody ever picks them up, so they're still hanging. And that grass down there on the barge is about.
I'll get a plastic, we'll cut some holes, or drill some holes in it, and wire it tight, or chain it to the actual fence in one of the corners.
Good, thank you.
About a month ago, you mentioned about a Ward 1, 2, 3, 4 chart for chipper. Is that posted so we can see it? Because I'm not sure what days everything is.
I didn't get to that because of everything else, but 10th Street to 28th Street from Dunbar Avenue to the river is what we consider Ward 1. That is done on a Monday.
You doing it like the old ward?
Yes, it's exactly the old wards. Ward 2 is from 10th Street to 28th Street from Charles Avenue to the Dutch Hall. Ward 3 is from 10th Street to Lot 6 up by Cold Spot, or right there at the train tracks.
And on Wednesday,
And that's on Wednesday. The only day we don't do it is on Thursday, and then on Friday is Ward 4, which is all Rocky Mountain Road.
Where would that be posted?
I think it was in the newsletter.
Okay.
I think that.
Yes.
I usually don't
I think
read
it was.
It's,
It's in the newsletter.
it's on it's on the newsletter, it's on the website, and it's on Facebook.
Okay.
All right, I keep messing up, I'm gonna have to fix the agenda. I just can't accept the fact that Bernie's back with us. Mr. Burnside.
I don't have a lot to say. I did want to tell you all that, since Matt's name is here, he had surgery Thursday on his back, had to have, 2 discs, were bulging and pressing against the nerve. So I don't know all the medical terms, but anyway, they went in there and shaved those off and got them off the nerve. And I talked to him yesterday, and he said he's still sore from surgery, but he don't have the pain that he had. His leg is still numb, but the doctor said that's all normal, and within a couple of weeks he should be fine and good to go. So, but his pain's gone, and he's able to sleep at night and do what he needs to do. So, guy's been staying busy, just trying to get all the problems that we've had, calls coming in, we've had to do gigs and doing repair jobs back to the streets that we tore up. I did get utilities off of the sign over there, was able to do that. I mean, it's gone, but you can still kind of see a shadow there, but it's not black like it was, so that's gone. We are in the process of working with Hugh on Taco Bell. They're getting ready to apply for sewer taps, so they're moving right along, getting ready to get their utilities hooked up over there. So we'll be making them a new tap, tying them in. So that's come along really well. And with that, I'll take any questions that you may want to.
Brad, I think it's going around getting all the potholes taken care of with the water company. Left, man, that was real quick. You took one, and plus they passed a few that I think it was a mixture of the water company and gas company thing.
They did.
And I knew everybody was really appreciative that they're not there no more.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Leishman.
To the mayor, council, YouTubers. Don't have a whole lot tonight. If you'll be happy to know that I want time to photograph all the cars. Haven't got them out again. I did get the bucket crash, so we'll watch that. Turned in our, final report for our grant for demolition of the houses last week. Haven't heard back from them yet, but it'll take a few days to get the audit, but we should be good to go there. I don't know why we didn't get a renewal notice, or I never received a renewal notice for this year's grant. Might have been when I was off with a couple of days sick or whatever. We do not have a current grant for that this year. So that's been our, but I've got several houses to go to do. Taco Bell's moving right along. We'll have probably be mid-month next month for them to open. What else we got going on? We're trying to catch up on a bunch of other stuff. One thing I've noticed a lot of is, I spent a couple hours this morning going around collecting all these Suboxone signs they have stuck everywhere, and I literally mean everywhere. I pulled down about 12 or 14 of them today. If you see them anywhere, text me the address and I will go pull them off, whatever hole they have. I haven't figured out how you can call in to a doctor and get a prescription for a heroin substitute without ever seeing it. Just kind of back. Apparently you can. So I'll take any questions anybody's got. Yeah.
I've got 3 phone calls on our favorite place over the weekend.
Been there.
Well,
Written.
Been there, what are we gonna do about it?
We're doing everything that the law allows us to do about it.
Well, let's someone in here.
Let me finish. The ticket is already written. Rick's gonna go up and check it first thing in the morning. If it's not cleaned up, you will be issued the ticket. And after he does that, I'm going to start a complaint for a warrant, or a complaint for a summons, to bring you to court on operating an illegal salvage yard and operating without a business license. Trust me, nobody's more tired of this guy than I am. I get calls all the time. You get them, Greg gets them, Mayor gets them. Everybody's getting calls on this guy. But we can only operate within the law. That's an unfortunate thing. They don't, we act. So
just go clean up the mess that's up there now.
well, if he doesn't have cleaned up in the morning, we'll have to give him this 5 days, which started today. He's already been talking about it. Citation was written. We'll have to give him this 5 days and we'll have to go do it again.
I told him I'd be back in the morning, and he swore, it'd be clean, but like I told him, I've already got the ticket written.
Yeah, I'd already talked to Chief Moss about the situation about the cars, illegal vehicles and stuff going up and down the road. The guy didn't have a driver's license, everybody knows that. But,
Well, that might be one thing to believe. The police can catch him out and found his vehicle.
well,
They don't have a pickup truck, you can't haul junk.
that's what we're gonna work on next, but, apparently all the neighbors got together and they said they're sick and tired of everything. I mean, they're really, really frustrated. They wanna know what's going on. They wanna know why we can't get a court order to go inside and condemn the place for it being habitable to live in. I've been near the house where you can walk in the door.
I've been to the house. I've looked inside the house every opportunity I've got.
And you think it's fine to live in.
Well, fine to live in. I mean, they got electricity, they got water, they got sewer. Those are the only requirements to live in the house. I mean, if it's falling down around them, that's something else, but it's a cinder block structure. So it's obviously not falling apart.
What about like the front porch?
The front porch is dilapidated. There's no doubt about that.
So can we take it in there, telling you he's got 30 days to
We
get
can.
his front porch to take care of?
Or remove the front porch.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And start getting him on things. The more we bug him, the more he's not gonna like it.
I understand.
And the relatives the residents are not calling you now because they're tired of that. They're tired of calling the mayor. They're calling people that they elect. And what amounts to Jane, what amounts to be Linda. But I told them today, we're going to try to find out about it. We're going to get to the bottom of it.
But we try to exhaust every avenue we have. Like I said, we have to operate within the law. They don't. You know, I can go up and write that guy a ticket every day. If he fails to show up to court, then the police have to go arrest him. They won't take him out in South Central because of COVID on the cages. So basically, we're wasting, and I hate to say it this way, but this is what it amounts to. We're wasting their time going and picking him up, bringing him down the processing, and then nothing good. It's just literally all that amounts. It's a waste of manpower now. Now, should we do it? Yes, we should. Is it going to accomplish anything? Probably not. The best thing we can do with him is continue to write tickets, collect his garbage, put liens on his property, and whenever council says that we have enough to go after his property, then go after his property.
That's what I think. Then, like you said, go after him for the front porch. He's got a big sign, like a doing business sign out front side, which you just now talked about. But at the same time, the more we harass this people, these people,
We don't harass anybody.
we're not harassing anybody. That's what the neighborhood wants. I'm trying to get sick of it.
I understand that, but we're not gonna
I
harass
think-
anybody. We're gonna enforce the laws that are on the books.
That's all. I didn't know that was against the law.
What, harass people?
Absolutely.
Absolutely it's against the law.
You're not talking to clean up your mess.
Well,
Today, if you went out there and you went out there, you saw it pretty bad.
I did see it was very bad today.
It was.
He saw me looking at him too. So he knows that I'm aware of it, it's Greg's aware of it.
I had a conversation with him.
Right. Unfortunately, talking to him like talking to the wind.
Good question.
So can we go up there and start getting for his outside structural stuff and give him so many days to tear his front porch off of? You can't walk up steps in those Scott's Spinnaker trying to clean up.
Well,
They won't go up.
I have to
they'll
bring
go
it before the property board before you can order the demolition report.
I can write him up for it, but the mayor's right. I can write him up, give him a certain amount of time. He always has to.
That's what I'm saying.
appeal, But he'll have to appeal to the property board. We can get a judgment on that and do it like that.
Just allow him for working on something.
We are.
I know.
I know you don't think we're not. There's only me and Greg part-time. It's hard to keep everything running all at the same time. Okay? We're getting him as fast as we can go, plus court slow because of COVID. Once we get rid of COVID and everybody gets vaccinated or just miraculously disappeared or whatever happened.
Chief's aware of the other incidents with his vehicles and other vehicles running illegal tags and.
Motorcycles,
No, he's got that taken care of. They passed me twice on rocks on the road last time. They're running them down the road. They're stuck in the back of the truck and the sticker's dead. He doesn't have a driver's license. That's beside the police department on him that part, but. Part of it, things cleaned up. We brought it here on the floor tonight, and you're working on it. We're gonna do the best we can, but we gotta go after more.
Question for you on that. Do we still have from the court the standing remediation order? We still have a standing remediation order so we can clean it up?
We do, but I'll rewrite the remediation order every ticket. Put some new date on it. And I don't know that the judge can issue a standing remediation order beyond the very limited time frame. So it's better for us and it's keep us out of court if when one of us writes a ticket that we give them 5 days and then we use that ticket number to get the new remediation. Getting a remediation order is just a simple. It's pretty simple.
And how, the last time he went to jail, that removed the remediation order that was in place.
Started.
So it all starts, every time you issue a remediation order, if he didn't clean up or didn't get cleaned up totally, then it stays in effect. But if it is cleaned up, then that remediation order is
Right.
done away with, and he has to write a new one for the next time that he comes in.
Well, however it's adjudicated, regardless of remediation or jail or fines or whatever, once it's adjudicated, that is over. The new one starts the next.
Yeah.
So we're gonna bring you back to court to issue that again then.
Issue a remediation order. I don't have to bring him to court to do that. Once we give him 5 days to correct it, and he doesn't do it, because it says on there, you have 5 days or we will take care of it.
So we go ahead and issue that against him, and then we can also
Go back on
structure
today.
the part of his house.
Right? I don't have to do that. I can do that.
That's separate.
Because I have to use code for that. That's ICC for that. But, the way it works is we issue the ticket. He fails to comply, I get a remediation order authorized, give it to Scott, and they've got time, they go get it, and it just continues like that. But he is, once a remediation order is issued, he is required to show up in court, because he failed to take care of the problem. So,
That was the happiest 7 days of those people on the block when he was in jail, because everything set, the garage door was down, you didn't see any junk, and nobody was there for 7 whole days. And now it's right back.
That's what he said he was doing today, cleaning out the garage, and I said, well, I'll be back in the morning. But this stuff was like.
They brought 3 truckloads in yesterday. So anyway, that's where we're staying.
well, that's a nice neighborhood, these gentlemen. I'm open if anybody has another suggestion on a different avenue. I mean, I gotta work with what ordinances we've got, but if somebody has a different avenue, I'm always open to suggestions, as long as they're listening.
I mean, with being a house, and I know we've went in other houses that are rental houses, and we've seen electrical that's not up to code, and different things that are not up to code, and we've condemned it when we not do that to a home.
The difference there is, if you're renting the place and you invite me into your house that you're renting, then I have the legal authority to go into that house. If I go up to his house and knock on the door and say, I want to do an inspection, he's gonna tell me, feet, you know.
No, you can go in any dwelling if you want to.
No, you cannot. I have to get
Then we need to rewrite our ordinance.
you can't do it.
That's our town.
You have to get a warrant.
I want to hear one person, now, what is it, sir?
You cannot do that in due process. You can't give him. You can't just go in and do it.
That falls under.
No more than you could enter my house. If you enter my house, it's a trespass. If you enter that house, it's a trespass. Now, if he gets a warrant, that's a difference.
So we need to change our ordinance and what the building inspector is supposed to do and what he can't.
It's
It's the last thing in your paragraph. You can go to any dwelling you want to and check it.
Yeah, Harold.
That's
Belabor
with due notice. You can't just.
Well, you can't even do it with due notice either, though, Mayor. I mean, if I walk up, knock on your door and say, I'm here to do the inspection, and I don't have a warrant in hand, if they're called administrative warrants, the nurse can tell me to get off the property. And the only way I can get into his house is get a magistrate to sign an administrative warrant that permits you to get in.
Let's get one.
What are you gonna use?
I
as
have probable
evidence?
cause to get in.
What are you gonna use as evidence?
Well, he's running an illegal chop shop, that's number one. That's what you just said right there, you said you were gonna go write him a ticket on.
No, I'm gonna write a complaint for a summons to get him in court on a salvage charge, because that's what I consider. Now, whether Jennifer considers it the same thing, I don't know.
And I think we need to look a little bit deeper into it, and either get him condemned or get him out of there.
We want.
We may want to.
My head.
You may want to be careful you don't get the city sued.
Yes.
You cross a line too much, you're going to get the city's pants sued off.
I take care of that. I watch very closely.
I know, but what he's wanting done, get the city sued.
Okay, that's why I'm the one doing it.
Yeah, we better.
I'm 44 years in law enforcement,
I
I'm
know.
pretty close.
Mayor, can I
Changing subject.
Our time's up.
The vacant properties, once you get help, you will be able to move quicker on that.
I was hoping to call him today. He will be called in the morning with the list of the torn down stuff. That was another question I had. Taylorville property, do we want to pull with an appraisal on that since we're not going to sell it at any time in the near future?
Correct.
I've got several to do. This will be to the appraiser in the morning.
Okay, thank you.
We'll do that.
On the positive side of it, what's going on the lower midway, who's responsible for getting 1802 Fletcher cleaned up? You or Greg?
You know, I drove by there today and almost wrecked. Literally. I don't know what happened there. We dealt with them and dealt with them and dealt with them. And I drove by today and almost thought I was on the wrong block.
I had talked to him a couple of times myself, but Lander's big gray car garage across the street, it's all in there. Because those people walked off and left that house.
Is that where you put all this stuff?
He put it all inside the garage,
Well,
but it's out of sight, that's great.
Well, it is out of sight, but
We need to-
you know, he's trespassing to do that.
You know what?
He just need to go get it hauled off out.
He just told me he was gonna get rid of it, he'd be gone tomorrow.
And one other question, please, for Greg. The lady on the corner of Fletcher and 19th in the gray house, she has covered her whole yard with cardboard.
I saw that today.
So she says she's trying to kill the grass, but my fear is there's homeless people go through all hours of the night. Somebody's gonna pour gasoline or lighter fluid on there, set all that on fire, and it ain't gonna stop them, it's the house.
Little field grass.
But yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
Do you want me to go by and do, I mean, I saw it today, it's all over. She wants the whole yard. Yeah, no, she can't. She wants to put black plastic down or something temporarily. Or how about buying a bottle of Roundup or insecticide? She did that.
Yeah, she's got about 10.
There's about 20 bottles on the front porch.
And they wait for 2 months.
What's she grow? Plastic stuff? What?
No, it's all cardboard, it just looks like she's got boxes and laid them all the way around the entire.
Looks like
Got 'em open,
black
like-
boxes all the way. Smell the yard all up. Smell like soot.
Now she's starting on the section between the sidewalk and the street.
Man.
But my point is, it's a fire hazard, I think. Somebody needs to look at it. Please.
I'll go by there in the morning.
Just tell her, pull it,
Please.
right, different avenue for field grass.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Mr. Jones?
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I already gave you all the report on the house up there. He is trying to get these furniture delivered. Get the internet and the cable all turned on for him. Guys are still out cutting. We have, twice I sent the staff over to the barge and at the depot to clean up and try to help out Scott's guys. Comes time for the last 2 weeks. Code spraying still going on. Sprinkler park is doing great. The pool went out today. Starting to turn a little green, so maybe have to get a little bit of hypo to put in it, maybe shock it, maybe a little bit more to finish out, but it should be, minimal, not too much like, we did over the last few years. Back washer today, running good, since I got the tutorial on what all that flame was on Friday. Thank you. Air bubbles in it. Makes it sound like the impeller in there is like ready to come off of it. Got one more on vacation this week, right back in tomorrow. My muscle happy. She's got to be checked and everything before she comes back. And then, like I said earlier, my other 2 guys are going to be leaving the next week with my but they did say if, they ain't made a final ruling, what I'm understanding for the colleges, but they said if they're going to be doing online classes at home, that they would come back and help out. Have certain days they'll do their schoolwork on, and the other days they'll come back and help us out the grass cutting, whatever else we need. And I've been working the last week on the Winesville race, getting it all together. I've been contacted at Tri-State Racing, and they're going to do the finish line for us. I've already got the most of my stuff sitting in a cart, like the trophies, the medals, and a few other things. So I'll probably doing those orders in the next week. I'm waiting till my budget goes back up. I will be out going out getting.
That's in CBD, remember, we just put a whole
Oh,
bunch of
that
money
makes
back
a
in
whole
there.
bunch of that.
Yeah.
I will be going out and getting donations that they'll give them this year, but I don't cover anything. But I know my biggest donor hopefully will be what you pay me, which will pretty much pay for everything for the race. Other than that, we're just keep going, trying to help out what we can. I've had the guys come and cut City Hall. I know we missed Bernie's spot over there last week. I love you, Bernie, I'm sorry. I said the younger guys. I had to do Route 25 for Scott and him and some of Stewart and all, just trying to help out where we can, keep them all outside working. Other than that, that's what's going on. I'll take the information.
One thing that Bub and I discussed is we're not going to put a year on this year's race because it'll be the 43rd or
46th.
46th. So if we can plan the race all the way up to close to race day. If we have to cancel, we won't be out anything. And if we just put the 46th on the medals and the trophies and stuff, and we don't have it this year, we'll have the 46th race next year, so we won't be wasting any money or get stuck with some items that we can't get rid of because they're dated.
You always look at the day on that, that.
Well, usually when I get, they're all engraved. Everything I get is engraved. And I talked to him about trying to use last year's because I got too engraved and trying to get something to take engraving in. If you know you got a specific thing to go in there and edge it perfect, it's gonna look like. So guess what y'all getting for Christmas?
Okay. Anything else for Mr. Jones? All right, we'll go through council comments. We'll start with Councilwoman Bogus.
I'm good this evening.
You're always good.
I just want to thank all our department heads for the job they're doing during this pandemic. I'd like to especially thank the chief of the police department. I do have a radio while I'm working, and those 2 calls that he talked about today, they were right on it. I just want to thank him for his help and the quick response that they have on their calls.
Good.
I just want to commend the fire department. Normally, I would say there's not a car, but, the house that he was working on 8th Street, there's a house to the right of the sideways, and you could reach out and touch one from that house. Then there's an apartment behind it that belongs to the daughter of the sideways house. Then there's another couple on the left side. And in the one sideways house, there's a handicap man, man with serious illnesses, and the granddaughter has asthma, and they always babysit grandchildren there. So the quick response of them coming in and taking care of that could have possibly saved several lives. Because, like I said, they would have been struggling to try to get all the kids out. It would have spread to the other homes. And elderly gentleman to try to get him out. So I really appreciate you coming and taking care of that. And if it any further than it went, because it could have easily spread to the next house. You can almost reach out and touch one on the other. So thank you so much.
You want my turn?
Yeah, she finished talking.
Well, I'm just, I have a few things to say, and I'll keep it to myself. I was elected to be on this council representing people. And I was asked to come here tonight and ask some specific questions. And I asked you a specific question, and I wanted a specific answer, and that's what I got. I didn't ask anybody else in this room and what anybody else's business in this room. And I don't appreciate you telling me to shut my mouth about it, because I have a right to speak it. I want to know that people want to know it. That's what we're here for. Simple as that. When we got a problem, people call us, they call y'all, we try to get it resolved, and that's what we're trying to do. Not get in an argument. Okay? So I'm not trying to argue about anything, I'm just trying to get something resolved. And that's what we're looking to do.
I don't like to argue either.
Okay.
I have nothing this evening.
Just a second to, again, glad we got it worked out for the police department on the body cams. Appreciate the mayor for initiating that, and then the conversation and the police to jump on it as well. You know, years ago, it had come up and there was some resistance, but I think times have changed up now. People realize the necessity of that. So thanks to the mayor, and all of us had a vote, but it started between the mayor and the chief pushing it. So it's glad we got that for the police department. Thank you, chief, and again, thanks to Lieutenant Mason as well.
I have nothing to. I just got a couple of things. Number one, we talked about getting an outside grass crew company to come help us cut, keep up. You done anything with that?
I've got the ads prepared to go in, and I asked you to check with Belford to see if he was interested. There was somebody that came in to my office and was interested, and I haven't gotten a proposal back from him yet. So So we are working it.
Yeah, we need to get on that, I mean, fresh, cheap. So we're gonna go.
Bad news on the Belfort question. They are closing the shop.
Oh, they're not even gonna be doing.
They're not even gonna be doing, board ups or anything. Josh called me last week and said, thanks for all the work, we're done. Well, I'm gonna have to let down somebody else to do the same kind of work.
Saying that, they going out of business?
Just, they're closing some, they're a national chain and just doesn't generate enough revenue.
Second of all, do we have a person that's good in cement, work for cement?
No.
Kind of. Depends on what you want done.
Well, what I'm looking at is these ramps out front, supposedly for handicapped people, are really dangerous. We're not wide enough for the wheelchairs. The angle's wrong, they're not proper drainage for water running around them. They need to be torn out and replaced, really and truly. At the same time, if we got somebody who can do that kind of work, Myers Avenue in front of the intermediate school, the curb there is in terrible shape. It'd be nice if we could get that fixed before school starts. We've got a month. But I didn't know if we had anybody that could really work with concrete or not. But those two items need to be looked into.
It's the same people that pick up trash and do limbs and so, I mean, that is our work crew right now. I mean, that's.
They can do it, let's do it.
The ramp sound like a contract job. It's in bad
Now,
shape.
we do have, I have to go back and look, we did do the, DOH project that we had was to take care of quite a bit of that.
Right out here.
Well, I'll have to go back and double check and see.
I think we've got at least two, I think it's maybe 3 ramps out here.
Well, the ones across the street going into the park need to be fixed where the bricks all busted up. That's a.
Yeah, they just need patch, I mean, they're operable. We just got it out here on the way.
I don't know, I guess you all heard that we had a very good year financially. We had a good carryover, coming into this year. So a lot of that goes to the department heads that have worked hard to stay within budget. We've worked hard together to minimize the expenses, to be able to carry things forward to where the next administration will be looking at making more improvements and doing things that have been overlooked for years. So I think going into this year, we should be able to continue to make the positive changes that we've made in years past. And just like to thank the department heads, everybody's working so hard to get us in that position. And the clerk's office for making sure all the beans come in. Anything from anybody else?
Mr. Mayor, for the good of the order, if there's no other business, I move that we adjourn this meeting. Mr.